Hey, quick video here. Edmund, this is to answer your question. So his question in our Facebook group was, hey, John, what do I do when I'm talking with the seller and I get immediate pushback and something like, hey, if you're just going to lowball me, don't even bother. Or, hey, are you one of those guys who's just going to give me an incredibly low price? If so, don't bother. So how do you deal with those people who say that? So real quick, let me go over exactly how to deal with that. First thing you got to do in any sales scenario is figure out why are they saying that. So once we figure out why they say that, then we're going to want to address it. So why do people push back immediately? Why do people, say, hey, don't give me a low ball offer, don't do this. If you're just going to do this, don't bother. Well, I'll tell you real quick why they do. Reason number one is sales pressure. If anyone feels like they're going to be sold, they push back. That's the difference between applying for college and getting recruited to a college, things like that, right? When we apply for things like we want it, and we might even embellish who we are or what we do to get whatever we're applying for. When people are trying to sell us something or recruit us into something, we push back, right? So the first thing we need to do is relieve that sales pressure so it feels like they're applying to work with us instead of being sold. The second thing we're going to need to do is, or the second reason why that is we covered sales pressure. Number two is probably going to be they just don't want to get taken advantage of. So, and nobody does, right? So they want to get the best deal possible. So this is something they say up front in order to say, hey, don't even bother with a low offer. Give me your very best and give it to me up front. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to have to make sure you get on the same page with them, right? So far what we've covered is they think there's sales pressure, so we need to relieve the sales pressure, right? The difference between applying and being recruited. Number two, they don't want to get taken advantage of. They want the best deal possible, so we're going to have to get on the same page with them. The number three reason is probably going to be, I put it in the comments box as I was writing this. Someone give me a, Edmund, how about this? Look in the description box. What did I have on there? Sales pressure, not feeling like they're on the same page, and there's one more. Well, let me just go ahead and I'll give you the rundown on how to fix it. So here's what I'd say. First thing I do is I'd pull back a little bit so they don't feel any sales pressure. Second thing I would do is make sure they're on the same page. And the third and final thing, it's about being in control. Thank you, Haim. Maintain control. So that's a three-step process. So pull back, relieve pressure, right? And then we're going to also want to get on the same page and give them control. So let me tell you what that sounds like. Hey, listen, we might not even be a fit, and that's okay if that's the case. Listen, I don't really work with I don't buy every house I go into. I don't work with every seller that I talk to. There's about 10 or 20% where it's a perfect fit. So right off the bat, I just need to put it out there that this might not be a fit. So that's one way to relieve pressure, right? We're pulling back. Number two, why don't we give them a little control? We could do this at any time, so give them control. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what we do and how we do it, and after that, if you want to move forward, it's 100% up to you. You're in total control, and if not, no sweat. I only want to go forward if this feels right to both of us. And then number three, let's get on the same page. So to get on the same page, I'd probably say something like, hey, listen, I think we're going after the exact same thing here. You want to sell a house, I want to buy a house, but I think we both know the only way that's going to happen is if there's a price that we both agree on and we're both happy about. So my only goal is not to lowball you, but it's actually the opposite. It's actually to offer as much money as I possibly can so you agree to sell me your house, and then it's a win-win. So just to back up, because I lost my notes and I got a little flustered there, why do people push back and say, just give me the offer immediately? Number one, pressure. Number two, they want to maintain control. And number three, they don't want to get taken advantage of. So how do great salespeople address it? Well, you just hit every one of those three things, right? If you're feeling this and this is why you're pushing back, let's address it. So again, I'm going to run through a quick script on how to address that. Hey, listen, we might not be a good fit for you. I'm not even sure at this point if we are yet. I don't think we've gotten deep enough into the conversation for me to know if it's even a property we want to or we can buy. listen, at the end of the day, I think I want to do the exact same thing you want. I want to give you the most money I can for your property, and you want the most money you can get for your property. We both want the same thing. We both want the highest to be the offer to be as high as it can. That way, I can buy the property and rehab it or do whatever I'm going to do with it, and you can sell the property. So I think we have the same goal here. Listen, why don't we do this? My process is to ask you a few questions and figure out, number one, if we can buy the house, and then number two, if we can start formulating my best and highest offer. You just tell me, are you comfortable moving forward, or should we just stop right here? Anything you want to do is completely fine. The ball's in your court. It's 100% up to you. So, Edmund, I hope that helps you out. Don't know if it does or it doesn't, but I sincerely hope that it does. Sorry that it was so long-winded. It took me so long to get through that. But again, hopefully that gets you the answer you need. I'm sorry it took me a few days to get to it. Kind of got a little busy there.